Teenagers can be some of the most fun students to homeschool. When I first started homeschooling, I was really intimidated at the idea of homeschooling my teenagers because they had to take the things that I taught in the ways that I taught them and use that as a springboard to get into college and to be a decent human being for the rest of their life. And the stakes just seemed enormously high. And I thought, I cannot possibly teach teenagers. It's just really scary and intimidating. And I just don't know if I can do a good job at it. But now that I have done it for several of my children, I can tell you not only is it possible, and I've got 2 kids in college at this point, but it is actually so much fun and really satisfying to teach to teenagers in ways that you don't quite get that same satisfaction from young kids. So I want to talk about why teaching teenagers is so awesome. First off, they bring things to you that are really fascinating. The stuff that they are interested in is now also interesting. It's on your level, When your little kids are coming to you and they're like, Mom, I'm so excited. I figured out what OO means and I can say ooh now. And you are excited and it's really good and this is good for them, but it is not news to you. But when your teenagers come to you, a lot of times they are discovering things that you have never discovered, or it's been long enough you've forgotten. And it's just a lot of fun to have this level of learning come that you're no longer teaching down to them kind of thing. Now it's on your level and it can be really enjoyable to learn with them and to experience their excitement. When they are at this point, they're starting to say, hey, I really want to pursue a specific area of learning because I'm interested in it. That naturally brings a lot of excitement, which then communicates it to you. And generally, when you have older kids, you still have a lot going on in your life, and having a little extra excitement in your life is really helpful. And so I love all of the enthusiasm that comes from kids that are just that age doing things that really matters to them. That is a wonderful benefit of having homeschooling teenagers in your home. The next thing is that they are really discovering their talents and their life mission, and you get to be a part of that. When your kids go away and they have this experience of learning and discovering who they are with somebody else, maybe they come home and they tell you about it, but by the time they do, so much time has passed, the enthusiasm's down, and maybe they forget about it. Maybe between that moment and when they actually talk to you, 3 other things happen, and so they only remember to tell you that last one. They're right there in your home. You are able to have that moment and say, aha, I see. You are actually really good at working with this group of people or in this particular manner, or I see a talent starting to emerge in you. And that can be really exciting that you get to be a part of that development with them and not just have it reported to you at the end of the day. It's something that you get to experience with them, which is super duper exciting. It is just really satisfying. It's like a payback day. And probably the best aspect of homeschooling your kids is that there's far less rebelling. I'm not saying your kids are always going to be obedient or that they'll always like what you have to say, because that would be a lie. But what I'm saying is, when you are facing hard things with your youth and they are really growing up and becoming for themselves, you face those hard things with your youth. Instead of looking at it and having it be them against you and you're fighting, trying to get whatever you want and they're fighting for what they want. Instead, you're on this team, and you're saying, I really want you to succeed in life and they really want to succeed in life. And so you get to work together on this process. When you're together all day, you just have that opportunity to say, okay, I see that you're really struggling with anger issues, or I recognize that you're really struggling with math, or you're really struggling with whatever. Instead of saying, just do it because we have to hurry up and get on to the next thing in life, you have a couple of hours and you're able to say, let's work on this together, let's overcome this together. And so the rebellion is really a lot less because of that communication, but also because there's just a lot more choice in homeschool. And so they're able to say, I'm going to put this down and not work on it for a while, or I'm going to pursue something else I'm interested in, or I need to have some time to myself in nature or playing music or whatever. They just have a lot more autonomy to their own education, which gets rid of rebellion. They no longer have anything to rebel against. Now they're able to say, I own this and I'm learning how to cope with my difficulties, and therefore I'm just a much happier person and a much less rebellious child. That is really, really powerful stuff. And the last thing is that you're able to help them develop not just academically, not just the things that they're interested in as scholarly, but you can really work on life skills. You can make sure that they know how to do laundry. You can teach them how to do finances. You can take them and go shopping with them. You can make sure they know how to do the cooking. You can make sure that they, if the car breaks down, you can help them with the car. If they get lost somewhere, you can teach them how to read a map. You just have more time, which enables you to teach them more life skills. And that you cannot do that if they're gone all day at school and then they have class or, evening stuff, and then you don't have any time with them. You don't have the opportunity to teach them those things, but they are absolutely needed. But I just remember going to college and being like, I have no idea how to cook. This could be a real problem very soon. And that is just not going to be such a big deal when you have your kids at home and you're homeschooling them as the teenagers. It's lunchtime. Fabulous. You get to make lunch, and they have that opportunity to learn that. These are just some of the things that make teaching teenagers such a joy, but they are the things that stand out to me as really paydays when it comes to teaching, that you feel like this is why we put in all that time. This is why we spent all that energy to help them develop their own personality and find their own interests, because now as teenagers, they really start going after it and start putting in the effort of their own free will and also loving the experience and developing a great relationship with you and with their siblings. So love it. I love having teenagers in my home and homeschooling them. And I hope that helps if you're considering homeschooling with older kids. It is a fabulous, fabulous experience. Thank you. I will see you on the next one.